You see the two teammates racing side by side, but Marcus Ambrose gets into the left rear of Brian Vickers. His teammates on the outside, nowhere to go. Casey Kane's had a very hard night here, getting hit a couple of different times, hard licks here.
And just like you said, Dale, it's more 3 wide entering the corner than I remember here. A lot of aggressive driving.
That was a race for 26th position.
It's not normally somewhere that you put yourself in a 3 wide position, and it wasn't even a door or
really
a slide opening there at all that Ambrose, yeah.
Now there's a little follow up there.
Tear it up anymore if you can. Please let it roll. Come. Oh, hit pit road here. Hit pit road.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you, he's not Vickers. He's just not happy about what happened there.
You can't blame him for that.
I don't blame him at all.
Let's see right here. Oh, yeah.
NASCAR has told Brian Vickers to take that car to the garage area and keep it there for a while.
I think that's where.
Brian Vickers in NASCAR was definitely an experience. If he wasn't having a controversy on the track, he was probably running in the back. But Marcus Ambrose would accidentally get into Vickers and he would get into his teammate Casey Kane. This would end Casey Kane's night at Richmond in 2011, but Vickers was able to keep going. And honestly, Vickers kind of did the right thing here. He defended his teammate. So what would he do? Under caution, he would get in front of Marcus Ambrose and block him in and try to crash him. He was showing Ambrose that what he did was uncalled for, it was extremely unprofessional, and that Ambrose definitely should have known better of a driver his caliber. Marcus Ambrose may have not been the superstar in NASCAR, but he had a lot of talent behind the wheel.
Those 32 spots to see who's going to get their shot at winning tonight, and for the second time, and that's a big hit for the 34 of Jesse Iwuji.
We were just talking during the commercial break, Michael and I, and we've been watching everyone's time. At least 2.5, 3/10 of a second of speed gone out of this racetrack since qualifying. And it's obviously grip.
Yes, it is, and the trucks are slipping and sliding. We've seen a couple examples of that, and that was a scary ride for Jesse as he lost it coming off turn 4.
These next 2 clips that I will be showing is just proves why Jesse Iwuji probably didn't deserve a NASCAR license to race in any series. Don't get me wrong, Jesse Iwuji as a team owner, he's really good. He actually can put some really good cars together with some talented drivers. But as a race car driver, he just didn't have the talent. This is him crashing in qualifying and not even lifting off the gas at Las Vegas. There's literal people standing on pit road. This is extremely dangerous and something that should have never happened in the first place, because when he lost control of his car, he should have tried to turn it back to the right, or he should have slowed down, and he didn't do that.
It is drying out. It is going to get more racing.
What happened? A problem for Ty Gibbs. This is in the front.
Oh, wow.
Straightaway chicane, what? The Shelton chicane.
I heard the crowd in the background, and I wasn't sure what happened.
Oh, what? Oh, my gosh. He just gets tagged by Jesse Iwuji.
What is he thinking?
How does that happen?
Yeah, we got to get another replay to see. Did the pace car pull out and slow him down pretty quickly in front of the field is the question. I had this happen. I was at ORP leading the race. Pace car pulled out in front of me. Stephen Wallace got me, spun me out leading the race. So I know what he's feeling right now, but man.
It looks like the car's okay.
When trying to get his lap back at Portland in the inaugural race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Jesse Iwuji would crash race leader Ty Gibbs under yellow. Ty Gibbs was able to keep his position luckily and save his race car without too much damage, but Jesse Iwuji came flying in there without any hesitation, and I have no idea why he was going so fast under caution. I understand he was trying to get his lap back, but he definitely had to have seen the pace car and the leader, so I don't know what he was doing.
There's a possibility right here.
Here it comes. Can he do anything
Better cut
with
him
it?
off.
Oh, no! We got a crash. We've got cars out of control here.
No.
Logano gathered back up. Oh, no. The 11 car's out of control off of 2. Spinning out.
Got hit again.
No contact.
And here they come to the line.
Wow. Man.
Denny Hamlin keeps going.
No caution.
Denny Hamlin at the front.
Now going down in turn 1 here, and here comes the 2. He just cuts him. Got that momentum going down the hill. A little late on the 11 closing the door.
And 11 just gets behind on the wheel here.
Yep.
The final lap of the 2017 clash had Denny Hamlin throw a horrible block on Brad Keselowski. This would ensue a crash between both of them, costing themselves the win, and Joey Logano would pick up the 2017 clash victory. Hamlin threw the late block on Keselowski without even looking or acknowledging that he was there. And as they hung together, they both were able to save their race car, which is honestly pretty impressive. But Hamlin was ultimately spun his car out after making more contact with Austin Dillon.
A little further on this 5 and 41 situation, Larson and Preece.
Larson just comes off the corner, and he's probably hearing late in his ear that the 41's got to run on the outside, and just that contact in the left front.
The 11th caution of the night, the 5 and the 41.
Kyle Larson is told all the time he is the greatest driver in NASCAR, but he loses his talent so many times it's unbelievable. He'll put drivers in situations where they either have to lift or crash themselves. And this is what happened with Ryan Preece at Bristol in 2023. He walled Ryan Preece, and later Ryan Preece wanted to get payback. So as he was trying to get payback from Kyle Larson, Larson didn't like it, and he tried to wreck Ryan Preece in the process. But unfortunately for Larson, he would end up wrecking himself and basically sending himself to the back of the field and ultimately ending his day later on. I know he's the most popular driver ever in NASCAR, but this is probably a moment that Dale Earnhardt Jr. wants fans and for himself to forget. After the 2014 Xfinity race at Daytona, he ended up getting into the back of a few cars, spinning them out, and causing a massive accident after the race. Funny enough, Dale Jr. would actually go on to win the Daytona 500 the following day. That's pretty ironic that this happened. One of his dumbest moments turned out to be one of his smartest moments just a day later. Going back to dumbest moments, Paulie Haraka, in his first ever Cup Series debut, decided to wreck before he even got off pit road. That is something that's probably never happened in a NASCAR race and probably will never happen again.
Got into Alex Kennedy, both set to make their Sprint Cup debut today, and here's a replay of what happened.
That's just guys not paying attention. That's all
right.
that is.
19, the white machine of Alex Kennedy.
Last night. In case you haven't seen this incident, let's take another look from the Texas Motor Speedway. That is Ron Hornaday in the white number 33 truck, Kyle Busch in the black number 18. They get into each other, but Jeff, after that racing incident, here's what happened that has NASCAR angry, because this happened under caution.
Yeah, under caution. You see the 18 come up and start running in the back of Ron Hornaday, and we're talking about Kyle Busch, and he's trying to spin him out. He can't get it worked out, and all of a sudden he hooks him in the right rear and turns the 33 into the outside safer barrier.
For you newer NASCAR fans, if you want to know why Kyle Busch, a veteran driver who races pretty clean to this day, gets booed, it was because in his younger years, he had one of the biggest tempers in the NASCAR series entirely, covering Cup, Xfinity, and trucks. Kyle Busch was wrecked on accident by Ron Hornaday, and the caution came out. He would let his anger get the best of him as he would intentionally crash Ron Hornaday under caution. This was one of the biggest things to ever happen in NASCAR at the time because Ron Hornaday was competing for a championship. Kyle Busch was not. He was racing for fun in the Truck Series.
Daniel Suarez, who finished 9th today, got into it. There he is inside of the 3 of Austin Dillon.
He got in the corner. Well, he's blocking Kyle Busch. And then by the time he got off on there, you see him was loose. He was out of control and got into the 3 and ruined his day.
So Dillon, who was en route to a top 10 finish, did not get one. He'll end up last car on the lead lap, 21st, but he walked away from the car okay.
Gordon gets taken out, he says, by Jeff Burton. And look at how hard the hit is, guys. Well, after that, let's hear both sides of the story.
And by the time we got in the middle of the corner, he just turned left and got on my door and got me really loose. And he said the sun got in his eyes. But then we got down, the caution came out, we got down into 1. You know, I just drove up next to him to show him my displeasure with what went on. And he just wrecked us, just flat out wrecked us, turned us right in the wall and collected himself. It was pretty stupid. And, you know, he admitted it later.
How surprised were you when Jeff came after you with the fifth?
I wasn't at all surprised. I went to go see him because I knew he was going to be mad. I knew he was going to be mad, and I fully expected it. You know, I don't blame him. You know, hell, I would have been
been mad if I was him too. I really don't blame him. You know, it's you know, he was mad, and I was right there, and he was wanting some of it.
Well, he deserved a lot more than that, I can tell you that. You know, that kind of stuff is just ridiculous and uncalled for. And, you know, I mean, Jeff and I will, you know, I just like the guy too much, and we'll be able to go on and race one another and stuff like that. I just couldn't believe how much respect I lost for a guy like Jeff to do something like that. I thought it was really stupid. And you know, I can't, sometimes I can't hold my emotions back, and believe it or not, I was holding them back right there.
The 2010 Texas race saw Jeff Burton and Jeff Gordon tangle off of turn number 2 under caution. This would lead to Jeff Gordon being extremely upset with Jeff Burton that he would lose his cool. He would walk down to Jeff Burton after they got out of their vehicles, and he would start shoving Jeff Burton until officials got involved and had to break up the altercation. This is one of Jeff Gordon's most famous fights at Texas Motor Speedway, up until 2014 when he got into the brawl with Brad Keselowski. But we all know what happened then.
There it is.
Oh.
All right, explain that one, Jamie. Break that down.
Well, there's not much to break down. That looked like there must have been something earlier happen, and that was a retaliation for it. There's really no reason for anyone to do what Ben Rhodes has done to Christian Eckes there. To right rear someone on the straightaway is really not acceptable.
I don't think you guys realize how hard I just about knocked the wall down. I was going straight at it with the wheel turn, and it got away from me. That's unfreaking believable. He runs me straight to the wall every corner. That's what happens. You can't run somebody straight to the wall.
More radio here.
I'm going to enjoy this fight after the race. It's unbelievable. I have my wheels turned all the way to the freaking 7 o'clock position, out of the throttle, trying not to hit the wall because he runs me out of the groove. And then when I get back on the straightaway, snaps, takes him out. What do you think is going to happen when you run?
This just shows how inexperienced and how stupid the Truck Series drivers can be sometimes. Ben Rhodes, who's actually a champion in the Truck Series now, right hooks Christian Eckes at Texas in the dogleg. This right here is extremely dangerous and why NASCAR has such strict policies against it. Christian Eckes could have been extremely hurt in this accident as it was violent as he would hit the outside wall. Ben Rhodes was upset with Eckes, and coming off of turn number 4, he just hooked him right into the wall and ending his day. Eckes would get out of his truck and ended up flipping off Ben Rhodes, but I don't think he got his message across because Ben Rhodes still to this day sometimes does stupid things like this on the racetrack. Thankfully everybody was okay after this horrific accident, but man, there's no defending that, honestly. This is extremely childish and unprofessional by any driver in any racing series.
A big push by the 5, and up the racetrack, he catches the 1. Chastain into the wall. Big contact, caution comes out again. Gabe Hart said, I only have one chance at a green-white checkered, as we see Austin Dillon shoving the 43 of Eric Jones. Chastain, the window net down.
Well, Rick, we knew someone was going to make it 3 wide. But behind them was 3 wide. But that right there, just Larson gets up the racetrack. He was pushing, it looked like he was pushing Hamlin.
Something
and he just lost the front.
Something sparks, Jeff. Watch the front of the 5. I don't know if he hits the apron. Something seems to spark when it turns right. Hard to tell from that angle, but from behind, it looked like the left front might have caught the apron, really shot the 5 up the racetrack. Take a look.
He's in the back of the 11 right here. Gets on the apron. That's the splitter hitting the apron, and now it doesn't turn.
I feel like Kyle Larson here was trying to be a hero. He was trying to show everybody that he was not going to take any crap from Denny Hamlin. Just a few weeks prior, Hamlin put him in the wall, so he was extremely upset, and he was ready to get redemption and wreck Hamlin. But this ultimately didn't work out for Chastain, as he would totally miss wrecking Denny Hamlin. In the process, he would collect Ross Chastain, who he's had run-ins with in the past before. So honestly, maybe it wasn't that bad for Kyle Larson. But what would ensue after this was even more cautions and more accidents. So this wasn't the first stupid thing that happened at Nashville in 2024.
One more lap to finish off stage 2.
If you can put some pressure on him getting into 3, force him to get loose, might be the ticket here. Yes. He's close enough, Carl.
Yes, he is. Both of them.
Look at that. That's exactly.
Oh! And around goes Truex.
Not that much pressure. Still Can he keep it going? He's going to spin around. Oh my gosh.
Caution waves to end the stage.
As a Martin Truex fan, this is kind of embarrassing and hurtful to watch. Martin Truex Jr. was running down Ross Chastain in Darlington for the completion of the stage. He would actually make contact with Chastain, spinning himself out and ultimately ending his day. Truex had a very fast car that afternoon, but was never able to gain the track position that he had after this accident. Truex has had some unfortunate moments of completion of stages. Even at Texas in 2023, he actually got wrecked under caution. That's something you don't see all the time. I will never understand how the spotter did not help Michael McDowell in this clip. Michael McDowell hits the back of a safety truck under caution. It's like he had no idea that the safety truck was there and just hit the back of it. This is still something crazy that happened. During the 2022 Indianapolis road course race, Wild Ross Chastain made a new path for himself. He went off the track intentionally because he was quote-unquote avoiding a wreck, and in his post-race interview, he didn't even remember it. When Chastain got back on the racetrack, he was actually battling for the lead with Tyler Reddick. He battled with Reddick in these closing laps and ultimately came across the finish line in second. But it wasn't going to stand as NASCAR realized what Chastain did and disqualified his second place position, putting him last on the lead lap. Ultimately for Chastain, this move didn't work out, but it honestly was a valiant effort at trying to gain some amazing track position and a win.
For second. Here comes Austin Cindric. Ryan Blaney sideways in front of the field.
Side by side up front, though. Chastain, he's right there. They're going side by side through the kink.
And around goes the one. He's able to get by the eight.
Unbelievable. Sideways, though. That's going to allow Reddick to get a run on him. Lost momentum on corner exit.
A lot of dirt and debris on the tires.
Chastain went off the track. So he did that access road to get back on track. Now,
I am sure, and all the places you can race here, you were looking for a spot there at the end. What were you thinking?
What do you mean, where?
Taking the access road there and getting off course there.
Oh, just trying not to be in the carnage there in turn one. I thought we were 4 wide and couldn't go any farther right, and just decided to take the NASCAR access lane out there.
Yeah, we're catching up with Robbie now. The back of the hauler was coming down. Come on in here, Steve. Pull back. We got a little more curve back in there. Okay, very good. So, top 10 finish for you. Great night for you. We were looking at some debris possibility coming out of your car, roll bar padding, anything like that going on?
Not that I'm aware of. We had a good run tonight. We broke a diff late in the race and had a shot at probably better finish than 10th. So I'm pretty happy with the run we had tonight.
And we're looking for, okay, Rob, we're showing it now here just so you can get a look at it. Can you guys run it back one more time because we didn't have it right in here. There you go. I'm messing up his hauler here. Robbie, there's your car.
Does this, what'd you see?
Back it up one more time, guys. We just get Robbie to get a good look at this. Keep going. Keep going back. Back, 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 back. We just want you to take a look because we're trying to figure out. It may have been something you ran over as well.
Might have been something I run over because I definitely didn't throw anything out the window, so I don't know.
Okay, we appreciate it. Top 10 run for you tonight, though.
Yeah, let's roll it out and check it out. Looked like it came out from the back of the car, actually.
Okay, how did you guys have been lucky dog a couple times tonight. I mean, it was, it was a great comeback for you guys.
Yeah, we had a really good night. We lost, we had one bad pit stop. We lost a lap with that, and that hurt us. And, we had a good car. We had a top 10 car all night long. Just started last, and it was hard to get all the way back to the front.
Great. We appreciate you taking the time, Rob.
Thanks.
Bill?